My name is Liam Cogswell, and I will be fighting for Mexico. Basically, in 2010, the Gulf of Mexico was damaged by an oil spill by BP that exploded and messed up the oceans of the Gulf of Mexico. This was a huge, huge problem because, first off, the oceans, the sea, the ecosystem, everything was ruined. It spread for miles, all this oil exploded, and it caused so much damage. So that's my argument, that's my first problem. There has been many lawsuits out, many things to get money, billions of dollar lawsuits, and which haven't been completed yet. But this is it's more than money, it's more of a problem. It should be, when there is an oil rig that, it should not explode ever at all, because when it's coming across the oceans like that, it just messes up the oceans and it's a huge problem. So the Gulf of Mexico should be rewarded every penny, and same thing with the US and the States for billions of dollars. So my first major point is that BP really just doesn't know of how big of a problem they've actually caused. And it has gone down as the biggest oil spill in US history, which is terrible. I mean, there should be all this money, these assets, it should all be paid, first off, for the damage they have caused. That obviously needs to be covered. But, second off, everything needs to be done right, in a proper formation, a proper fashion, and that's how it needs to be. And that's why I'm here today, Liam Cogswell, to settle everything that has gone down today. Thank you. Also, another problem I have with the oil spill exploding, everything, when the rig exploded, is that 11 co-workers were killed. Okay, that is lives being taken away from families when this rig exploded. 11 people have lost their lives, and by the time the wellhead was capped 87 days later, nearly 5 million barrels of crude had spilled and poured all over into the Gulf. First of all, you're talking about people who lost their lives. Okay, you're talking about all this oil spreading around the ocean that can't be stopped, because it's moving currents. Everything is pushing it towards wherever it wants to go, wherever it wants to harm. It's killing all of these ecosystems, open ocean, open sea, everything. It's ruining wildlife. It's ruining so many things. And the problem is these lawsuits, everything that is being put in forth, everything everything that we're trying to do, that we need the money for because of all these lawsuits to save the ocean, to clean up everything, is taking so long. We're in the year 2019 right now. There are still lawsuits that still need to be paid. People need to be paid forth. Businesses, everything that was harmed by what happened, this situation, and it's not going to be all right. Maybe for a couple more years. The problem I have today, and the problem I will be talking about as well a little more, is that it has taken so long for all this stuff to be, pushed forward and completed, and it's a huge issue, and it will be stopped. And lastly, I will be talking about my evidence on my first point. First off, look at all these oceans and stuff, the trash that has been thrown in there. Think about how big of a problem that is, just trying to clean up our oceans. Now, something that happened, that wasn't on purpose, wasn't intentional at all, just explodes. But there are points behind it where it doesn't need to happen. Things need to be processed right. They need to be transported. Trades, everything needs to go right when you're dealing with the ocean, because it can harm everything that we need in the ocean to live our lives. These ecosystems are so important. But first off, my evidence is big time. Okay, the oil rig that exploded, it shouldn't happen, and we have all the evidence to back it up. All right, but it is their fault. It is BP. They need to, and obviously moving forward, they knew the mistake they made, and they are never probably going to make a mistake like that again. But my evidence is that it needs to happen. It needs to happen from the first time, so it never happens first off ever, because it is a huge issue and it never will happen again. And that is my evidence towards the spill, because people lost their lives, and that's so important, and people see that in their eyes, that maybe they don't want to deal with that stuff anymore, and it just causes a whole world global issue, globalization. It's not what needs to happen, and that's my evidence moving forward, as I will get to my second topic and statement about this oil spill and what all the stuff that happened. Thank you. Hello, so I will be talking about my last final point and problem of this oil spill that took place in 2010. So in total, we found that the oil spill has likely harmed or killed approximately 82,000 birds of 102 species, approximately 6,165 sea turtles, and up to 25,900 marine mammals, including bottlenose dolphins, spinner dolphins, and melonhead whales and sperm whales. See, this is a big problem because our oceans are so important, and what they did to kill the animals was probably just much worse as well. And so the BP oil spill cleanup crew dumped some 1.8 million gallons of chemical dispersants into the Gulf of Mexico, which definitely wasn't a help for the marine mammals or animals of any kind as well. Maybe just to clean up the ocean, but kind of, forgetting about the animals that live down there. So that's another big issue I'll be talking about. Thank you. My main evidence for that is biologicaldiversity.com. And, after spending a lot of time with them discussing that, it's all proven facts. It's all meant to be correct, and that's a major issue, and that's part of the reason why the compensation I will be asking for all of this damage that is done will be $40 billion. It's mainly because it needs to clean up the oceans, help out the animals of any kind that were harmed, injured, but mainly the ones that died you can't do anything about. But we want to help the oceans. We want to get on a positive note moving forward and take care of this right away. Stop waiting on all these lawsuits and start moving forward. I think that's the biggest thing we can do moving forward, and that's the compensation I want, and it's what we're gonna get. So it's the way it's gonna be, and moving forward, we need to make positive effects and get the ocean cleaned up and pretend like this never happened and get on a positive note. Thank you. And many people are asking about why this amount of compensation. Well, guess what? It's the money that needs to be done, and any money afterwards that is not spent or not used will be put forward towards, action that this will never happen again. It's what needs to be done, and I'm putting my foot down, and it's the way it's going to be, and this is going to be a quick and final process, okay? And, thank you for everything, but my name is Liam Cogswell, and this will be completed, and, let's get this done. Thank you.